And we are live. The Walkway to Fight Club. I am Stephen Milhouse, along with the one, the only DY Daryl Rivera is in the house. And my man, what is up with you, man? You had a great night yesterday, man. The lady had the birthday. How did that end up going? I heard there was a lot of champagne in the room.
Yeah, I mean, we basically what we ended up doing. I usually like to go all out for a birthday, and basically since with the whole COVID-19 lockdown thing,
had the birthday. How did that end up going? I heard there was a lot of champagne.
And basically we just had a bunch of friends, on Zoom and everything, and FaceTime. We talked a lot, drank a lot of champagne, but it was good. It was a good night.
Now, are you going for the birth? Now, we'll start here. How old is she? What's the big age?
26.
Okay, so 26. So, are you? And you're at that stage. How long have you guys been dating again? It's been a while. It's been a minute.
4 years. It's about to be 4 years in May.
Man, she's put up with you that long.
I know, right? Insane.
Oh my goodness.
It is
Now, is this like? Are you going medium price champagne, the expensive champagne, or are you going like the $4.99 at Walgreens or 7-Eleven?
Personally, I go medium, but this was a gift that we got when we moved into the apartment, so we decided to break it out last night.
Okay. Now, so she's not worth like she's not worth the $50 bottle or the $100 bottle of champagne.
It's more of I'm not gonna drink most of it, so I'd rather get 2 bottles of a medium, drink that instead of a high. But if I can afford the high one for her, I would. You got to keep in mind your boy's on a budget.
Now are you on the budget because of COVID-19, or are you on the budget because you're just cheap and the lady's not worth it? Because every lady's worth at least for the birthday $150 bottle of champagne.
For the sake of argument, let's just say car payment, rent, plus COVID-19, plus bills.
So you're not making it right.
Still a student, still trying to get into this whole sports journalist world. Still getting my feet wet in insurance. If anybody needs insurance, hit me up. StateFarm.com, man.
StateFarm.com, baby. I got Country Financial. I'm sorry.
We'll talk.
No, man. My cousin's got his own shop there in Aurora. So, but you know what though? If you do need insurance, go to State Farm. Hook up my boy DY Rivera. He needs to go from the medium glass, the medium champagne to the big boy champagne.
To the big boy champagne. I need it. Bottle this big.
Matt Ward, I want to give a shout out, leaving a comment in the chat room. Thank you, Matt, for the recommendation, and I want to thank James Lynch from the score as well, as he was a big advocate. Yes, Guinness, it's the beer of champions. But no, I want to thank them for recommending this, and don't forget, hit that little button at the bottom, subscribe. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. The more subscribers listen, the more we can make some cash. Leave your comments. Leave questions. There's a lot going on. And empowered by StreamYard, yes. That's who this podcast is. This video podcast is streamed by. But so what time is the going to bed? Is the celebration? I let you have the day off. Not let, but I'm like, just go celebrate, man. Go have some fun. We'll kick things off tonight. But is it a 10 o'clock night, a midnight night, or a 3 a.m. night? How good did the night get for DY? The Puerto Rican sexy.
It was a midnight night just because I had to work the next morning. So
now, is she working from home too, or just you?
No, she also had to work. She works at PetSmart, so she had to go to work today.
I love me a PetSmart.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Now, what does she do at PetSmart? Like, what is because we usually go through Chewy for the dog food, but Chewy, because they're so backed up right now with COVID-19.
Yeah.
And didn't come on time. So we went to PetSmart. You were able to do it online. And I thought it was pretty cool. You just call there when you're there. They come right out with your stuff. They put it in the trunk for you. And I'm like, man, it's pretty kosher. And it's like, I helped out my wife because those bags are heavy, man. We get the 30-pound jumbo bags. Like for a woman, that's pretty heavy. So I was very satisfied with PetSmart.
Yeah, they're good. She's actually a manager at the dog hotel. So basically, yeah, she's in charge of that whole operation. People have to work. They can't take care of the dogs for about 8-9 hours, so they just leave them there. They spend time with other dogs. They have fun.
Now, how is it right now? Is it weird to the point where
it's
they're still
dead.
getting a lot of dogs, or is there no one there, or how is that really?
There's barely anyone there. Like it's very people are spending time with their dogs at home now, especially because they're working from home. So they'd rather save the money and then spend with the dogs at home.
Oh, that sucks,
man. Yeah, that is what it is. She's embraced it.
Now, their hours get cut or nothing, or is like the hours thing still good, or
hours got cut for the most part. But yeah, she actually brought home a cat Mystic because her parents are stuck in Florida.
That's what I'm saying. I hate cats. And this is the only reason, and I know we're supposed to talk about SmackDown, and we'll get to SmackDown. Trust me, we'll get to that horrible show. People liked it. I could have done without a lot of it, but this happened when I was 4. I had a cat named Smokey, and my parents got it when I was 2. And one day, the cat didn't like me, and from what my mom and dad always told me, I did not like it. So what did I do, Daryl? Open that door, the patio door. Woo! See you later. Never wanted a kid again.
See, I've always wanted to, just because I'm mainly I want a dog. Dog is the main objective, but we can't have a dog in the apartment. Cats are quiet. They don't make much of a mess. Very they take care of themselves essentially. So I don't mind them. This one's actually really good. She hasn't caused any problems or anything. Very quiet, very stealthy. Yeah, keeping away right now. She knows I'm going to put her on camera, but she refuses to show up.
But my thing is, and plus, my wife's allergic to cats.
Okay.
And it's and I told Lynn, I'm like, I would never do that. My little guy, my 3.5-year-old, he's like, Mom, I want a cat. He sees cats on commercials, and we're just like, yeah, dude. I never had a dog until 2000. I always remember this. It was the Ultimate Fighter finale when Michael Bisping pummeled Mayhem Miller, and I was refereeing a volleyball tournament at Moraine Valley Community College, and I came home, and, I had the tournament, and my wife, we're dating at the time, and she's like, and we're living together, and she's like, I want to, PetSmart's having, through South Suburban Humane Society, they're having, what are they having? Oh, I'm looking at the chat, sir. They're having Adopt-a-thon Day. And she showed me the dog was cute. I'm like, don't get me wrong, the dog was handsome as heck. And I'm 8 weeks old. And I don't have time. I was doing another podcast at the time. I was full time. It was taking off. Was doing really well. And I'm like, no. I just said it. No. Daryl, do you want to ask what happened, Daryl, when I came home?
What happened? Because I do want to know now. You've intrigued me.
I had this nice, handsome dog run right at me when I walked through the door.
Better to ask for forgiveness than permission, my man.
Right? It's always better just to, exactly. You hit it on the head. And I think that's what WWE is trying to do. They're trying to ask for forgiveness. They're not asking permission. They're just doing. And 8 years and a few months later, he's still here. But I didn't want the dog, didn't want him, and I'm like, and then she worked 4 days in a row, and that time she was going to stay with her parents for a few days. I had to watch this dog by myself, man. I had never raised a dog in my life. I didn't know what to do. I took this dog out every 3 hours. I put it in the crate, and this dog's sleeping away, but then I'm like, oh crap, what if he pees in the crate? And I got no idea, man. So it's but now I got 2 dogs. They're freaking great. And we got another dog, and they're great. But
that's how it starts, man. That's how it starts.
But see, I look at it this way: it prepared me for children. In a way, they always say like, "Oh, animals prepare you for children." So in this way, the cat is preparing you for children. Think about it. I'm telling you right now. You can sit and look at the lady, but I'm.
She's not here. I'm looking at the cat, making sure it's not setting the house on fire.
But no, but sorry, man. That's what's going to happen, and if you don't like it, tough. It's going to prepare you for children. Sorry, dude.
That's the last thing we need. A little DY just running around everywhere.
Man,
he's like me. If he's anywhere like me when I was a kid, man, it's gonna be a headache. Just stop running everywhere.
Now, were you one of those needy children? Because we got the world watching here. Were you like one of those needy kids, or were you one of those kids that you kind of held your own and you were okay?
I held my own, but I was also one of those kids that would like jump everywhere, run everywhere. Like I was a fan. Basically, I was a wrestling fan since I was a kid, and I would see like Psychosis in WCW just do a flip, and I'm like, oh, I can do that. At 2 years old, just start diving everywhere. Gave my mom a lot of heart attacks, so I apologize for that. But
now, were you doing like a moonsault on like the pillows?
Oh, the pillows are my all-time rival. Me and my brother used to tag team against them.
So were you like the pillow tag team champions?
Oh yeah, we had the cardboard like cutouts and everything on the title. Pretty sure they're still somewhere in Puerto Rico. I just gotta text my grandma, see if she sends a picture.
Now she should just send them to you if she still has them.
Oh yeah,
a good grandma would do that. I'm just saying. But let's get into SmackDown.
You're trying to avoid it.
Matt Ward likes the show. Matt Ward thought he was intrigued even more for Money in the Bank now. That was not the only good thing about SmackDown tonight, was the fact that we really started to see more clarity on what was going on. They announced Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt for the Universal title. You got I think the tag titles. It's going to be Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Oh, that's on SmackDown next week. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross against Carmella.
You just interviewed her, man. Come on.
Oh, God, and thank you for everyone that's listened to that. Holy cow, man. I'm getting messages about it still, and that interview was like 4 days ago, and the podcast was posted like 3. So thank you to everybody who's listened. Audio version of this podcast will be available tomorrow on iTunes. No Stitcher, because I'm banning Stitcher from my life.
I still have no idea what a Stitcher is.
Oh, good. I'll give you a tutorial later.
I don't want it. You're like bad-mouthing. I don't want to.
Apple, iTunes, and all your major podcasting platforms. You can also view this video on YouTube. Click the subscribe button. Leave comments here in the chat, and we'll get. But I like the fact that also Daniel Bryan qualified. A great match with Cesaro. I really thought to get into Money in the Bank. I'm getting down for some Dana Brooke though. Dana Brooke's kind of starting to tickle my fancy. And if you would have said that to me if you said to me 1 year ago, Dana Brooke's going to tickle your fancy, I would have said you are full of it. But I don't know if it's because she's dating Batista or what, and she's just gotten like now mega cool.
I mean,
she's with Big Dave, but I got to say, Dana Brooke, she's got great athleticism. She's got a good look. It's like she's finally gotten that confidence to where, to me, at least in my mind, she's putting it together. And Naomi's a good talent as well. So more often than not, you're going to have a good match with Naomi to begin with. But you can just see with each passing match in the last year or so, and in her promos, I think Dana Brooke has really started to get to another level. I was really impressed with her tonight. One of the only bright spots on the show.
We'll get to that in a second. But Dana Brooke, yeah, she's always had talent, but WWE Creative is one of those things. Like, we have this toy, but we don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? Because Dana Brooke has always, like, ever since she came up, she always had the athleticism. She always had the look. Charisma was lacking a little bit, but you can tell that they were trying to do something when they had her join Titus Worldwide. That messed up the group a little bit. And they just never knew what to do with her. And now it's good to see that, they had a tag team with Carmella. earlier in the year. They're kind of breaking out a little bit, letting her, go out there, do your thing. Here's a scripted promo. Don't mess it up, but, do your match. That is what it is. And honestly, I'm looking forward to it because I want to see what she can do with the Money in the Bank match, especially now that that interesting way they're doing it this year, which is interesting, intriguing.
Now let's get into that. For the fans that don't know, how is WWE presenting the Money in the Bank ladder matches?
So they call it like Money in the Bank in the towers. So basically, they're going to start at the ground floor of the headquarters of WWE in Stamford, Connecticut, which kind of blows my mind because that's I don't know if they got approval from Connecticut, but that's a different story. But you start at the ground floor. You got to go all the way up to the roof where the briefcases are. Whoever gets up there first wins. It's intriguing.
Whoever gets to where?
To the roof. That's where the briefcases are going to be.
Now, there's a ton of problems I have with this. And I think you know what they're all going to be. And you kind of alluded on one of them there. And my whole thing with this is why? Why are we going? First of all, is the state of Connecticut still shut down? How are you kidding me? This blows my mind away that WWE is getting considered to be essential workers. This boggles my mind.
Money talks, man.
It really does here. It is wrestling. Don't get me wrong. I love wrestling. We make money off of wrestling. I'm okay with that. But we're wrestling fans. First and foremost, we're wrestling fans. Why, Daryl? Why? Please tell me why.
I couldn't tell you why. Honestly, I'm on the same boat as you. I don't think these events should be happening. I think talent has always needed an off season. This was the perfect time to give them a break because you saw how WrestleMania was. You needed fans for all these interactions, especially when you had a confirmed case already inside of the WWE. You had Rey Mysterio in quarantine. Dana Brooke was in quarantine. And now they're back as if nothing ever happened. So it just blows my mind how this keeps allowing to happen. And you saw Florida governor when they asked him, he's like, "Is this any influence with your friendship with so and so or whatever the case may be?"
Oh, let's not even start with Governor Ron DeSantis. Let's not even go there. Hey, well, if you're gonna go to Florida, beaches are open, baby.
Oh yeah, and apparently
let's get the COVID. Let's get the Corona. Jeez. Give me the Corona. I want the Rona. If you want to go there and get the coronavirus, go right ahead. Florida's ridiculous. Texas is ridiculous. Let's keep going because we can talk about that for 4 hours of my disdain for the state of Florida.
But honestly, I don't know how WWE keeps getting away with that because, like you said, Connecticut entirely is in a shutdown. My aunt lives there. She constantly talking, texting with her and everything. She knows, like she tells me, we're not allowed to leave. We're like locked down. So I'm still trying to figure out how they're getting to do this.
I don't know. Like that concept of the match is so stupid. It is not. Anyone that finds this intriguing, please leave. Because there's
so you want me to leave now, or
what is so intriguing about guys trying to climb up floors to get to the top of the building? What the heck?
It's
new.
Off?
Okay, landing on a crash pad. Okay, cool.
The only thing I have to say is it's new. It's new. It's something we've never seen before. And I'm all in for anything that we've never seen before, as long as it's safe, obviously.
Normally, I agree. I would agree with you 100%. But you're now telling talent, hey, we're still in a global pandemic. You're going to fly to Connecticut, be in a building with a bunch of freaking employees. They laid off and furloughed people. God bless them. I feel for the people in WWE. And I want to, real quick before we continue, I know we're going to bounce here a little bit because that's how we do this here. But for people at SB Nation today, they got furloughed, laid off. People at MMA Fighting, Bloody Elbow, MMA Mania got furloughed, laid off today. It sucks, and trust me, it's the first shoe to drop among many. Trust your boy here. I promise. You're gonna hear a lot more. It's happening everywhere, not just in me. It's happening in media. It's happening in the sports world, in other sports. It's only going to get worse before it gets better. But I want to send my condolences to those and well wishes to those people. But you're going to hurt people here. People are going to get sick. People are already getting sick. So we're going to try endanger more people and get over a briefcase. What if you cash it? You know what would be cool? Let's bounce this out here. Cashing in. How are you going to cash? Now you know no one's going to be able to cash in. What's the point of me now watching that pay-per-view? What's the point of me watching? Because we're going to watch anyway. We're going to talk about it right after. But what's the point of watching?
You want to see what the hell happens? Basically, I'm going to watch because the card seems like it's going to be a legit card. I'm intrigued by Strowman Wyatt. I'm intrigued by how they're going to do this. And it's not intrigued like, oh my God, it sounds like it's going to be awesome. It's more like, how the hell are they going to do that? It's like the first Elimination Chamber. Nobody knew what it was going to be. And so, you actually saw it. And then everybody's like, well, this is pretty cool. I don't think it's going to be the exact same thing, but it's more like curiosity. I want to see what it's going to look like. Like, what are they going to do? Boneyard match is another example. Nobody knew what it was until it happened. Everybody loved it. Not saying everybody's going to love this, but I'm saying, and I'm intrigued because it's new, and we don't know exactly what's it going to look like.
You almost got me. Okay. Okay. Well, that's an interesting. Okay.
YouTube, baby.
I love you. I love for everyone watching. Okay. Anyone watching, click down low. Click the subscribe button. It really will help us out tremendously. Leave comments there to the chat room into the right. We will answer any questions. If you got any comments, leave them as well. But I just can't I can't. I'm gonna watch because I have no choice. I'm doing it now. I'm doing it for the people. It's my job. Job requires to watch. But we saw what a train wreck WrestleMania was. What they're doing right now is a train wreck. And we'll get into their new taping procedures and medical protocols in a minute. But just watch even the beginning. You were talking about earlier about Strowman and Wyatt, and you're looking forward to it. Because the backstory is there, and they've never really gone into the backstory. I think the backstory is intriguing. I thought the bit at the end, I actually did like that. I thought that was pretty cool when they had, Strowman thought it was from Alexa, and they went back to flashback. You heard Bray, and did little videos of Strowman in the old mask, and I thought that was pretty cool. But I didn't need that 6-7 minutes of garbage at the beginning. I didn't need that. You could have cut that in about 3 minutes, given me what you had at the end, and that would have been a good 5-minute segment. It would have been a really good way to kick off the show. And so to me, it felt like the show was a little bit ruined at the beginning. This is kind of okay, Bliss is a good talker. I like the chemistry with her and Nikki. But the rest was just kind of I didn't need all that filler. Could have got more to the point, then went to Bray, and there you go. And you got Strowman looking all baffled and confused. And I'd be okay, cool, we're good. But I could have done without the whole thing with the cup and the coffee and the compliments and all that. No,
it was something that would have been better fitted in the middle of the show, where you didn't have to have a 15-minute segment in the beginning of the show, they always have to. It's something that, again, placement would have played a key factor. If they would have put it in the middle of the show as opposed to the beginning, I would have rather seen right off the bat, Brian Cesaro. Let's start on a high note right off the bat, because the promos to start the show are overrated. I'm done with those. Let's just start with a match. Let's go with a match right off the bat. Daniel Bryan Cesaro, two of the best in the business right now. Would have started on a high note. Let's go.
you're a genius. That's exactly what you got to do. I don't get the whole point of, it's like you could predict every WWE show. It always starts with a promo. Blah, 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 blah. How about you start off? That's why I like, there's times AEW does it too, but AEW doesn't do it every week. There's more often than not, most weeks, AEW is coming right off to a Dynamite starting with a match. That's what I want to see. Like this week, they started with a promo from Jake Roberts. Awesome promo. But more often than not, you're getting in-ring action from the jump. WWE is so predictable. I wouldn't even have minded if you would have done, or you could have went with Bryan Cesaro, or you could have went to the tag title match. You could have done either or, and it would have been just fine. Not starting with the boring, 7-8 minute promo that you could have done in 5, which you could have done at the top of the second hour, and that would have been a better idea. Because then you're hyping your champion, your world champion, coming on right at the middle, right heading into the second hour. That would have been a better way to go. Keep the fan interest, and then you plug away, and then you can end with Bryan and Cesaro, or you can end with tag title match, whichever match didn't start first.
Yeah, and it's something like you said. Yeah, you started with an 8-minute segment that basically took everybody's attention away from the show. That's what kills WWE programming once in a while, because they always have to start with a promo.
It's too predictable. It's an archaic formula that they think works. And sometimes it does them. If you hype who's coming on, hey, blah, 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 blah. They didn't hype Braun Strowman starting the show. If you said, hey, Braun Strowman, a moment of bliss is kicking off Friday Night SmackDown with the Universal Champion. Okay, there you go. You got me intrigued. What's he going to say? Are we going to see Bray? Instead, it was thrown together. Here comes Alexa Bliss with Nikki Cross. You're thinking we're seeing a match. And then we got what we got. And I kind of just thought it was a bad, that opening 40 minutes was just bad. Because then Banks and Tamina, and that was just kind of
What in the world? And now that you led to this, as soon as I saw it happen, what are they doing with Sasha Banks? We talked about underused talent before. But man, did they bury her to the ground.
See, it's all going to lead to something with her and Bayley.
It's taking them too long.
But that's fine. I'm okay with it. Because look at it this way. Do I want to see Bray and Strowman in front of no people? No. There should be no shows. We cut down to the skin and bones of it. We shouldn't even be seeing this show. They should be. I've talked to so many doctors, and every doctor asks me why they should not be airing shows. No kidding. It's such a head scratcher because you've lost your top full-time guy. He's not going to be around that crap. And I was talking to my wife about it when we were going upstairs. She was like, "What's going on with Roman Reigns?" A random question. I was like, because I explained it to her real quick, what was going on, and I'm like, he's going to be gone for months. This isn't the thing where Roman Reigns is going to be back in June. Roman Reigns is going to, from what I have been told, they're not expecting him back for the remainder of the year.
Especially the two twins.
They've been told not to bring him up, which was confirmed by Dave Meltzer first reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and then I was able to verify that with someone close to Roman who I talked to this afternoon. And it's one of these things to where you've done that. Like you said, you were talking about Mysterio and Brooke, and you had WrestleMania in front of no people. It's like, shut things down until you got. They're not even and we'll get into what the new procedures are going under, but there should be no wrestling right now. I get their thing of smiles on people's faces. It's not putting a smile on my face. You don't look very happy tonight. I'm happy to see you. You're happy to see me. You're drinking beer. I got beer and water. I'm great. I'm going to be done. God, what's that? Cheap people beer, man. Come on. We were busting up that Guinness last week. Come on.
Somebody's got to drink it. Cheers.
Did you at least get a 24-pack? Okay, all right.
Of course, my fridge looks like a fraternity fridge, man. It's just like a gallon of milk, beer, and like bacon.
I know. Luckily, I got a wet bar, and like it's like in my. When you come to my house, you got the wet bar, and I got all the hard liquor and the wine, and then in my sunroom, it's where all the beer is. There's a refrigerator in there, full of beer, all beer, hard liquor, and wine is in the wet bar. Oh, it's a thing. Every liquor imaginable, man.
As soon as I walk into the meal house and household, just straight to the wet.
Come to the castle.
Yep.
As soon as COVID-19 allows us to have, long as our great governor of Illinois, and I use it so facetiously, our great governor of Illinois allows us to see people again. We'll do some live podcasting here, but I don't even know where. Well, we're talking about Reigns, and
yep.
But it's like you're talking with Banks. Like, why? It's a slow burn. I'm fine with it because big matches like that. Same thing with Broman and Strait. That's a money match. In a company that doesn't have many big money matches, you're gonna give that crap away for no fans. What are you doing? You could have made some like serious money. Maybe you get some subs. Maybe. I don't know. The fact they pushed the quarterly call to May 12th, I'm kind of worried. And they're saying that's going to be pushed back. That's not good news. Not good news at all for that company. Mm-hmm. And, you got to look at this as, I don't know what they're going to do, because if you're looking at like Banks and Bailey, that's a big match. They've never had a big match on the main roster. You're giving away Bray and that, and then you're doing this Money in the Bank thing, and then the Boneyard stuff, and that Edge and Orton's. Like, you're giving away so many things like that could have been saved. But that's what they're doing with Banks. So, like, that match was boring. Banks did the best she could. Tamina's god awful. If anyone's a Tamina fan, I'm sorry. The only cool thing about Tamina is she is the daughter of Jimmy Snuka. It's about the only cool thing about Tamina.
She has some mean super kick. That's it.
That super kick is nasty.
Yeah.
I'm shocked she's given no one a concussion. But that's a testament to her and how well she can do it. I'll give her credit for that. She does throw an awesome super kick. Yep. But no, a good win for Tamina, and Tamina getting a shot at, hey, we want some Bailey.
I'm gonna download that and turn it into a GIF.
And Bailey, by the way, is in the archives, and you can go and find Bailey. Our interview, the interview we did with Bailey, the SmackDown Women's Champion. Go to iTunes, go to Anchor, go to all your favorite podcasting platforms. Check it out. Download, subscribe. Screw Stitcher. Download, subscribe today. Same thing with the YouTube. Click right down. Click the subscribe button. And do not leave comments that say Eva Marie took Vince's cum in her ass for a job. Wow. I've seen a lot of comments and doing chats and getting. This is the way we're gonna re-debut this on video, and we get a comment like that. That's kind of fun.
I'm pretty sure that's the name of the page itself.
Hey, I think it's funny. It's absolutely. And I have no comment on it because I don't know.
YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. YouTube.
Let's see. Sheamus defeated a jobber named Denzel DiGianotti. That was squash. Good to see Sheamus back. We haven't seen Sheamus in a minute. So what if Sheamus will be in Money in the Bank? I'm kind of intrigued by that.
I think they're leading up to Sheamus Hardy. Yeah.
Now, what do you do in that situation? Because you brought Sheamus back and made Sheamus a killing machine. And then Jeff Hardy's back, and then you get all this hoopla with Jeff Hardy. And you can see they're trying to do something with Jeff Hardy. And it kind of, which I'm not going to have a problem with. I think when Jeff Hardy has it together, Jeff Hardy's fantastic. Jeff Hardy is amazing. But my thing is right now, I can't trust Jeff Hardy more than I can trust a politician. And it's not very much right now. And it's where do you go with Jeff Hardy? Is Jeff Hardy a guy, Daryl, where you push him, see if he can handle the push? Or do you kind of humble him, have Sheamus get ahead in this program and Sheamus moves on?
I would have, like, if I was in the writer's room and everything, first and foremost, I would take a look at Hardy's contract because his brother's gone. The
Jeff
trend,
Hardy's got,
I think it's like a year,
like
maybe
I think it's like next June.
next
Next
June.
May or June. He's got around a year. It's
Yeah.
more than a year. It's right in like at the 12 to 14 month mark.
The trend seems to be when one Hardy leaves, the other's following suit. So why build Hardy for the next year, maybe even the next 3 months, if you're going to see him gone in a year? So at this
Because
point,
it's the WWE way. Look what they did with Matt. They made Matt look like $1 million and Matt bolted to AEW. Look what they did to Ambrose. John Moxley, they gave him the grand send off and gave a Shield reunion special, and the guy said, "Going AEW biatches."
that's what happens when you pay him $500 for that Shield special.
I asked him that. I talked to him.
Great interview, by the way.
Thank you. You can also find John Moxley in the archives. You can go to iTunes and all your favorite podcasting platforms to hear from the AEW Heavyweight Champion. Most downloaded podcast, by the way, was the one and only John Moxley.
That was a great interview. We
talked after for about like 5 minutes, and I asked him, and I'm like, "Did you really get paid $500?" And he's like, "Yeah." He was pissed. He's like, "I went." He goes, "I love Iowa, but he paid me $500, and it seemed like I was going to get more money." He's like, "I was so out the door, I just chuckled." Seth looked at me and laughed. I got in the car and gave my hugs. We went to grab a bite to eat, and then I drank some whiskey and flew back to Las Vegas. So that was he wasn't kidding when that actually happened. But I felt bad for, it's just typical WWE, but I don't know, like,
I'd rather see Sheamus.
You don't have a top baby face right now on SmackDown. Who's your lead baby face? Braun Strowman to me is a heel. Yes, he's a baby face, I guess, in theory. But I would not mind seeing Jeff Hardy beat Braun Strowman and become the Universal Champion. Because I do not want to see a Braun Strowman Roman Reigns program. I've been there. I've done that. If you're not going to give the title back to Bray, and what a shame that would be if you beat Bray. What a shame that would be. It would be a miscarriage of freaking justice if I've never seen one. So I have no faith in that.
They've always handled Bray in the worst possible way. The guy's always been a great promo. When he first came up from NXT, he was the best promo in the business right now. With that character itself had so much potential to be the biggest thing since The Undertaker started. And they squandered it. They fed it to Super Cena. And then he reinvented himself again to bring out, The Fiend. What did they do? They fed it to Goldberg. It's just a trend. They're gonna keep building him up, and then out of nowhere they're just gonna bury it. And then it gets to the point where the 74-year-old man says, I don't find this entertaining anymore. Let's just scrap it right off the bat, without actually having a proper send off. It's just pulling the cord way too prematurely, and that's probably what's going to happen with the Fiend again. Because they're not taking the title away from Strowman after beating Goldberg. They're not going to put themselves in that situation.
Why not?
Why would
they were wrong? It's one of these things to where
you think Vince McMahon.
Why didn't you just pay Goldberg the money to drop the belt to back to Bray? Or I would have went with Hardy against Goldberg. If you're going to say, okay, what in terms of fan interest, there's more fan interest in Jeff Hardy And there was Braun Strowman. This is not a knock on Braun, but they've desecrated Braun so much and have ruined him and buried him. He has no goodwill to the fans. He's got no goodwill to the consumer. Why should I be emotionally invested in Braun Strowman being the Universal Champion? Where Jeff Hardy has the story, overcoming and exercising his demons to resurrect his life. He's got a new lease on life and to do good. You have all of those factors in there. And yet, went with a guy who had no momentum, nothing behind him. He's never won a big match. He's looked bad in those. He had one good match with Roman Reigns. But beyond that, every other good big match he's been in, he hasn't delivered. He's lost a lot of momentum, and yet you give him the title. It's just like, I'd get the title back to Bray. Let Bray rock and roll. Let him be Bray. He's the best thing they've got right now. They kept the title on Bill, agree to more dates, and go from there. And then you wait till Roman comes back. If you really wanted to give Roman the belt, you could have had him squash Strowman like a bug and then move on. Then Bill really doesn't have to appear. You can do what they do like they were doing with Brock. Only appear every so often and go from there. They royally screwed this up. I don't feel bad for them at all. But that's a whole totally other thing. We talked about Dana Brooke beating Naomi. Pretty good match. Well, actually, one of my other favorite parts of the show. Are you a Mandy Rose fan? Please tell me you
are. I like the storyline, yeah.
I'm talking Mandy Rose.
I'm a big Mandy Rose fan, yeah. God's greatest creation.
Oh, absolutely. And I clear the air with Sonya Deville, and she's crying and trying to call Mandy all week, but Mandy won't return the calls. And here comes Mandy, and Mandy's mad because of what she did to Otis, and it feels like we've been together since Tough Enough, and she's fake crying. It was kind of funny. Called Mandy selfish, saying she knew that Mandy would get rid of her once she hooked up with Otis. And saying, I tried to hook you up with Ziggler because he was going to help the team. Said Mandy has no talent. Mandy said she was happy she slept with Villain Mania. Ziggler ran out when they were about to tease a fight. He apologized. Dolph tried to hold her hand. Man, where was Otis here? Why wasn't Otis out here?
Give it a minute.
I know. Mandy pushed Dolph's hand away. Deville beat up jumped Mandy. Dolph wasn't happy. Hey, Otis, there you go, my man. Gave Ziggler the caterpillar. Mandy got her hands on Deville, but Deville escaped. See, they ruined this for me.
How so?
Because Otis should have been out there. Where was Otis? Otis should, if they're an item, you're in a relationship. I've been married, been together 11 and a half years, married happily for 5.5. Almost 5.5. Why? Where was Otis?
It's one of those, man. I honestly couldn't tell you because it would have made the segment a lot better just because you have Ziggler sneak attack from behind or anything like that. But the fact that and honestly, I kind of see both ways because Mandy Rose did have that one promo that it's I can take care of myself. I'm my own woman, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where they were going out with this. Hey, I'm going out by myself because I'm my own woman. I can protect myself. Yeah. Then once Ziggler got involved, that's when you see Otis because, even things out. But honestly, the segment to me was entertaining. I found it entertaining.
Spectacular.
This whole angle, and it's sad to hear that one of the people that got forward load was the creator of this angle. I felt so bad when I saw that because she wrote arguably one of the best storylines going. Because the mid card hasn't had a story like this in forever, and she came up with it and brought it, and then gets furloughed like 2 weeks after.
This was the only one of the good things about WWE in general. This program, and then Edge and Orton. So only 2 good things that I was looking forward to going into me. And Drew and Brock. I don't want to take that away because I was really looking forward to that. But
Taker and Styles, I would throw them up there for myself.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it. I wanted to see what happened.
I feel bad for Gallows and Anderson. Oh my god! I'm gonna cry. I don't want to cry today. But segment was solid. What they're really doing with this program, I think, is really, really good. And then they talked about did a nice thing about Howard Finkel. Looking into that in a few moments. Really awesome tribute video. If you haven't, I think they got it up on their Twitter. So if you want to check WWE's Twitter, definitely go check that out. Then we were talking about earlier, Bryan and Cesaro, and this match was fantastic, man.
Always magic with those.
Wish they would have had more time. Money in the Bank qualifier. I thought the match was really, really good. I thought the last 3-4 minutes they were really rocking and rolling, and Bryan tried running up to the corner. Cesaro caught him. Bryan applied to the bell lock for the win. Nakamura tried to interfere, but Gulak cut him off. Really good match. Those two together, they did the first live SmackDown from the empty arena, and they were on for a few minutes, and it wasn't bad. But it was 4 minutes, but they could have won. I wish they would have been given more time. This here was really good. They gave him some time. They gave him it was almost near 15 minutes, and these two guys together, I really, really like. I would love to see more of a long-term program with them. And I don't know about you, but I hope Daniel Bryan wins Money in the Bank. The fact Daniel Bryan's even going out here and he's got a low immune system. That's why is Daniel Bryan there? Why? Why is this necessary?
You're asking the $1 million question.
Keep gonna get me more upset.
Yeah.
Question in the chat from Matt. Didn't mind Brock as champion because in the late 80s, early 90s, the champ was hardly there. That's why I never had a problem with Brock.
No.
Having the belt. I used to love the way they were doing it with Brock because it felt more special when he was there. I know people got mad, they got upset. People finally came around because it's this is your biggest attraction. He sells tickets. He's a ratings mover. He sells subscriptions. In this day of age, that's what you're looking for. And I can't take that away.
No. Especially
the mystique of him to begin with, but it makes the title feel more special. That's always and he's right. When Hogan, Warrior, it wasn't like the NWA where Ric Flair was the traveling champion. There was Flair or Dusty or Sting or when Luger had a cup of coffee, and it always end up being back with Flair. But the way that was done where Hogan would hardly defend the title, it made it more special. And that's why I love when Brock would come out because it felt you knew it was going to be special and you knew it was important. And I know people crap on that, but you know what? That's what makes him a very unique attraction, and one that I hope doesn't go away anytime soon.
I agree 100%, mainly because Brock added, and like you said, he added that big fight feel. You never saw him unless it was a big deal. Now it's and I use the example of Hell in a Cell, TLC, stuff you don't want it to get watered down. Brock Lesnar has never been watered down because he was always a rare attraction ever since he came back. It got to the point in 2002 afterwards when you see him every week that people were like, oh, cool, here comes Brock Lesnar. He's going to kill someone and then he's going to leave again. That's fine. But if you see the same thing over and over and over, it's going to get old and you're not going to be a fan of it. I like the fact that I like the idea of the champ not being there every week. That's fine because it adds legitimacy to the title. It's and I mentioned TLC, Hell in a Cell. They watered those down by creating a pay-per-view. in 2005, 2006, 2007, you announce a Hell in a Cell match.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Now they have hey, this is the pay-per-view we're going to have too. Because we have to.
That's why I think I'm disappointed they're going for it. One of the many reasons why I'm disappointed they're going with Money in the Bank, because now look at you going for another one. I only brought one.
Gotta come prepared.
I should have been. But why? Because now you're not going to get it. Ruins the aura of the cash in. Now I know. It's the only reason to watch the show. Because you always had that teasing. Like you remember, Del Rio trying to cash in on Punk when Punk won the title in Chicago. Or, Ambrose cashing in on Rollins to win the title. Bliss and Nia Jax when Nia faced Ronda here in Chicago and inject herself into the match, threw Ronda out and pin Jax to win the title. Like stuff like that made that match so fun. When Brock won the title, I loved last year when Brock cashed in. That was freaking awesome.
I still think he almost legitimately killed Ali.
Oh yeah.
When he tossed him from there, I'm like, oh my god, he is dead.
It looked like it.
Yeah, I was looking at
poor Ali. He got squashed.
I thought he was gonna win. And I'm like, oh god.
All right, let's get back to this great episode of SmackDown. Big E noted he's a single man trying to win the tag titles for the team, him and Kofi. He was told Kofi and Woods would be watching closely. He vowed victory. Then we saw a program that's unfortunately still continuing with Elias was making his way to the ring when he got attacked by the great King Corbin, and Corbin beat him down like a drum and injured his hand. Corbin grabbed the guitar and dragged Elias out. Man, we get more Elias and Corbin. Aren't we so lucky? Yay.
Jesus, I thought this was over in WrestleMania. I was so happy that it's over.
It seemed like it was the end.
They can use King Corbin, and I'm not the biggest fan of the character, and that's great because I'm not supposed to be a fan of the character. He's a heel. He's hated.
It's the wrong kind of hate.
I like him as a heel because people legitimately hate him. When's the last time you saw a heel that people actually, other than the Miz, that actually like, you know what, I hate this guy. I wish he didn't win. That draws money because people want to see him get his ass handed to him.
That's the why I don't mind him, but that's not even the reason. Fans just don't think he's good. This isn't like boo, we hate you. This isn't like a thing like boo, I gotta go to school. If you're a kid or you're a teenager going to high school. This is a boo, I hate your guts because I don't think you're any good. I don't want to see you in any way, shape, or form. That's not the heat you want. It's not. I get it. I get what they're doing. He's not that good. It's just they love the fascination. The fact he is a former NFL football player.
At the same time, though, they haven't done him any favors with the programs that he's had either. You had him and Roman
in the Reigns program. That program went way
too long. Way too long.
It wasn't, but I get the whole. They had nothing going on, so I was like, okay. But now you're gonna. I feel bad for him in that instance because they went too long. Now you're putting him in another program that's going way too long. You thought would ended at WrestleMania, and now you're going to continue a program no one really gives a flying hoot about. If you want to build this guy. You're not doing him any favors putting him in a program with Elias. I'm sorry. As much as I like Elias.
I like him. He's not a babyface, though.
And the show ended with tag title, the triple threat. The fact we're going with think about this. A triple threat match for the tag titles, but it's only one guy from each team. Basically from the opposite guys of what happened. Who you had at Mania. You had Big E representing the New Day, The Miz representing him and more tag team champion partner, one half of the tag champions with John Morrison and Jey Uso. Yes, Big E and Kofi are once again tag team champions as Miz appeared on his way to victory when Big E broke it up, hit the big ending on the Miz, and the New Day is now 8-time tag team champions. What they did at the end, I thought was cool. The ending, I thought was pretty solid. The way they got Big E to get the big ending. I like the ending too when they did the picture of wood, like the picture video with Kofi and with and Xavier Woods. I thought that was cool. I was actually a fan of that. That was well done. But the match was not even close to what we saw at WrestleMania and the Triple Threat ladder match. The match was there. Miz does nothing for me as a worker. And it's bland, it's vanilla. Big E, I wish we'd get more of a singles push. I think you're starting to see Big E really shine here. I thought Big E looked pretty good. Jey Uso's not a bad worker. And the burial of the Usos continues. Which is well deserved, by the way.
That's how they have to learn at that point.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. So now the New Day is 8-time tag team champions. They are one tag team title reign away from tying the Dudleys. Well, I bet Bully Ray's he's chomping. How dare you? Well, I'm going to get in. I haven't even told you this. Did you hear the comments made by, and I'll acknowledge this, because I've been asked about it a little bit, by Tommy Dreamer?
About the situation with for lowering wrestlers?
Defended Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I saw that comment. Was not a fan of it.
I made a comment. I mentioned him. Didn't care. I own it. He DM'd me on Twitter. Kept putting journalist in caps. You watched the whole video. You listened to the show. And I'm like, listen. I watched the video. I'm not a fan of what you said. That he was trying to say like he had not trying to say it, but like he said like I don't want to get into this. You know, I had a really close friend passed away because of COVID-19, and which I felt bad for because my grandma passed away a couple weeks ago from COVID-19. I'm very sympathetic to like what is going on in the world, but don't make idiotic comments. You can't defend a person sitting on $500 million in cash to save $4 million a month. I'm sorry. Doesn't go along in my cup of tea.
Nope.
And you're still guaranteed a profit without even holding a show the remainder of 2020. Get the F out of here. And he kept putting in a caps. I'm like, listen, here's a link of all my work. I'm not like one of the, and I respect everyone that covers wrestling. There's pro wrestling journalists are a little unique and a little different and different, cut from a different breed. And I'm not going to bash no journalists at all, especially in pro wrestling, because I know the ones that work really hard, and so does everybody else. And I give them a ton of credit. And I think they get a horribly bad rap. I'm a combat sports journalist, plain and simple. And I said it to them. I've interviewed the biggest names in boxing, MMA, and pro wrestling. I don't have time to sit there and I said it to him. I don't have time for you to sit and demean me. Period. I don't. But you were wrong. He wanted to have a conversation. I'm like, I'm willing to have a conversation. When you get your stuff together, we'll do a video podcast. And me and you can have a conversation in front of the world. And I'm fine with that. He didn't respond. I'm not surprised. But his comments were flat out wrong. His business has been affected. House of Hardcore is great. I don't know if you've ever watched any of his shows. Yeah. I think they're really good. And I'm like, dude, your shows are good. I have a Sirius XM subscription because I love Fight Nation Channel 156. Busted Open, which he is on at least once a week. Luke Thomas Show. MMA, Akin Barak, sponsored. My employer is part of my employment. Luke Thomas Show, the MMA Nation Show. And I'm like, don't put journalists in caps. I'm like, I'll do a podcast with you. We'll go right on video, and me and you will go at it. And I'm like, I will tell you, you're wrong. You got $500 million in cash, and you're chucking people that have flown and sacrificed their livelihoods to get on an airplane and wear a mask and go attend a show. If you can honestly tell me that's the right thing to do, and then have an employee get COVID-19, your top star went home, said, I'm leaving, adios, I don't feel comfortable. You tell me that's right to do? I want you to own it. But the challenge is out there. I accept the Tommy Dreamer's challenge, hopefully, and I want to get that out there because I don't know how you are about Twitter. I don't care about mentioning people's names because I believe what I say. I don't care. I'm more than comfortable in my own skin. If you want to come at me, I'll come right at you right back. I've gotten into it with and Dreamer was cool about it. I don't want to just come off like, oh, Dreamer was a dick. I thought he was a little condescending in a way because he got put in journalist in caps. I take what I do very seriously. I work very hard. I have plenty of contacts in all three platforms. So I know where to go when I need stuff, and I know when and who to ask the right questions to. I take it very, very seriously. I'm not going to falsify anything for a view, a download, a click. Not my cup of tea. But let's get on to other and bigger, better things. I know we wanted to talk about the new policies WWE has implemented, and we'll go with their taping schedule first, which I thought was very, very interesting, just based off of the fact that, let me click on it here. I hit it up and I took it down. Okay. All right. Because they've been doing the original plan of what they were supposed to do is they were going to do multi-day tapings. They were going to tape they were supposed to tape through to Money in the Bank last week. They were going to do 4 days of taping and just get it all done to get them through to then. Now they're doing week by week. Each week is going to be live. So Pro Wrestling Sheet reported that SmackDown that aired tonight, next week's SmackDown, and this coming Monday's Raw, and this Wednesday's NXT will all be live as previously planned. And then the rest of the April schedule is going to be Saturday, April 25th. They're going to tape 2 weeks of SmackDown. That'll be May 1st, April 8th. Then on Monday, April 27th, they'll tape that night's Raw and May 4th's Raw. And then Wednesday, April 29th, they'll tape that night's NXT in the May 6th edition. And then Taylor will be off until May 11th. So basically what they're doing is the Monday, May 11th taping, they'll do Raw and that night's Raw and the May 15th SmackDown. So what they're going to do is basically what they're doing is May 12th they're going to tape the May 18th Raw, May 22nd SmackDown. NXT May 13th will be that night's NXT May 20th. Then on Memorial Day, they'll tape that night's Raw and the June 1st Raw. And then Tuesday, May 26th will be the May 29th Raw, the May 29th SmackDown, the June 5th SmackDown, and then Wednesday, May 27th will be that night's NXT and the June 3rd show. And this is through July 1st, by the way. For Monday, June 8th will be that night's Raw, June 12th SmackDown. Tuesday, June 9th, they'll tape the June 10th NXT. Monday, June 15th, they'll tape that night's Raw and the June 19th edition of SmackDown. Tuesday, June 16th, they'll tape the June 22nd Raw and the June 26th SmackDown. June 17th, that night's NXT and the June 24th NXT. Then on June the 29th, that's a Monday, they'll tape that night's Raw and the July 6th Raw. Then on Tuesday, June 30th, they'll tape the July 3rd and July 10th editions of SmackDown. And then on Wednesday, July 1st, that night's NXT and July 8th NXT will be taped. I did talk to WWE. I talked to a member. The PR did respond. Those are locked in. That is up until that point. So that will be very interesting. And I want to go. And Pro Wrestling Sheet also had something which I did not get. And I thought this was And they're saying this is all to enhance public measures. So what they're also going to be doing now, everyone will wear face masks, good hygiene, hand washing for appropriate amounts of time, medical screenings prior to entering any closed set, matches done in waves, only essential personnel on site, adhering to social distancing outside of performances, and in quotes, pandemic level cleaning, and more. Their sources say WWE is putting a lot of effort into mitigating risks and doing the best they can to protect people's health and safety while keeping the business afloat amidst the current pandemic. Now, let's start with the tapings. What do you think of the tapings? I think this is interesting.
Honestly, I think it's pending because let's say on the side of, okay, they're going to continue going. We're going to keep being a dead horse saying that they shouldn't be doing it. But it's an okay plan. The fact that you're taping 2 shows, 3 shows a night, it's kind of interesting because it's going back to the times where they actually used to tape the shows and it was never live. Yeah. But at the same time, when you're taping, for example, a Raw and an NXT, that's bringing in more personnel than normal. For example, when you tape 2 Raws, you have the same personnel there. It's just the same show. When you tape a Raw and an NXT, you got the Raw roster and you got the NXT roster on site. So that's adding more people, more exposure to, because you can only fit so many people in the Performance Center. Yeah. And it's just, this whole thing is, I keep going back to it shouldn't be happening. Like, there shouldn't be any shows until July at the earliest. Like boxing is doing, like one MMA company is doing, the other one is running like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to figure out how to have a fight on May 9th. That's a different story. It's just, it all comes back to that. Like, it shouldn't be happening, but at the same time, scrambling, trying to basically make all this happen under sketchy details at best, because the fact that Florida approved that as an essential business is sketchy within itself. But it just shouldn't be happening. Like, these tapes, I don't care that you're taping 2 weeks in advance and then you won't see them for another 2 weeks. That's still, you're seeing them in the middle of a pandemic, and we're supposed to be reaching peak numbers now in the next week or so. And you're still going to trot them out there. He's like, all right, you wear a mask. Okay. What else? Are you testing them? Are you, like, without tests, this whole thing is BS anyways. Unless you have tests, then that's the only thing that'll make me go, okay, I see what you're doing here. But if you don't have tests, then it's all BS.
This is all the taping schedule. If you're gonna do that, you gotta tape more than what they're doing. If you want to knock out a big set of tapings, you can knock out like a month in like what they were going to do. Take a week, take Monday through Friday and just tape. And then send everyone home for 6 weeks. See you later. You knock it all out and it's done. Now you're still putting people talent in danger, getting on the airplane, going home, flying in, flying out. Even if you live in Florida, it's still so dangerous. You got all these deaths going on. And it's like, for what? What is the cause that we're fighting for here? And I'm going to Google this. Coronavirus in Florida.
It's currently shut down.
State is shut down.
When Disney World is closed, you should not be doing anything. Disney World does not close.
Apparently Disney's not an essential business. Okay, as of right now, today, as we're talking, 22,897 cases in the state of Florida with 633 deaths. There's 706,880 confirmed cases in the United States with over 32,230 deaths. 2.2 million confirmed cases, 2.24 million cases confirmed worldwide with nearly 154,000 deaths. Now, let's just talk about Florida. And you're holding shows. The governor is going to open up the beaches. Let's have a Corona party. What are we doing? Stop lying. Okay. Edwin Clark leaves a comment. Stop lying to the fans. Tell me how we're lying, Edwin. I'm always in the mood. We can have a debate. If we're lying, okay. I'm looking at the people that are dying. I'm looking right now at John Hopkins at the coronavirus map. It doesn't get more, and everyone's using John Hopkins. I don't have no. You're flying guys in. I'll do a week of tapings. You knock out 4 to 6 weeks. We're good. Then you come back. But if and you said this, and this has been my problem. They're doing temperature checks. Okay, you're putting masks on. But my wife's a nurse at University of Chicago. And if you're going to put on an N95 mask, you have to get fitted for an N95 mask. You have to be properly fitted for those to be effective. And if those are not effective, if you're not getting fitted, they're not going to work. You're still going to be exposed. Unless they're fitting them for masks. Unless they're getting fitted for them, I don't know what to tell you. They're not COVID-19 testing at all. I've talked to talent there. They haven't been at all. They're doing temperature checks, which is better than nothing. I'll admit that. But if you're not testing, if you're not giving the tests, which the country is lacking in tests, but that's a whole totally different story, and this isn't a political show. If they don't have the testing, I don't have a wife. Okay. Cool, man. Thank you for listening, by the way. We greatly appreciate it, by the way. My wife's been a nurse at University of Chicago it'll be 15 years in the middle of May. And when I got to see her come home, throw away the mask, immediately put the clothes in the washer. When she tells me, hey, bring some clothes down, she washes her clothes right away and goes and takes a shower. I got 2 children, and there's me. She doesn't want to get us sick. This is bad stuff going on in the world. And you're not COVID-19, you're not testing for the coronavirus because right now professional athletes should not be getting tested unless they're showing symptoms. You know, and you have a problem with WWE, a staffer has it, and then you got a totally different game. And people thought the game would change. The game didn't change. They still are trudging forward. They've been deemed an essential business. $18.5 million is going to the state of Florida from the Donald Trump super PAC led by Linda McMahon, who this happens to be the wife of Vince McMahon. I don't have a wife. Man, I'm just going to say, thanks, man. You're listening. You're paying the bills. Mwah.
Another satisfied customer.
Hey, you got 2 beautiful children, 3.5 and 10 months. I don't have children. But this shouldn't be taping at all. You're not COVID-19 testing. No athlete should be getting tested right now, period. Like you talk about the UFC, we're talking about sports. Sports athletes is important. Athletics is important. We all want to see sports. I miss sports. I'm looking forward to Sunday. 5 minutes today of The Last Dance. Oh my God, I cried I cried. I cried tears of joy this morning. Eating my breakfast sandwich and eating some pineapple and cantaloupe and had a banana. And I cried. I loved it. Seeing Jordan pull up in the vet Then at the end,
Jerry Krause.
Jordan gets on the team bus, and Jerry Krause just gives him the look of doom. It's like, God, you can only imagine, like, God, the Bulls probably could have won another 2-3 titles. But for Jerry Krause, man, Jerry Reinsdorf let that nonsense happen. But let's get back to wrestling. Because trust me, we're talking about The Last Dance next week.
Oh, yeah.
Right now. We're talking about it. But that's where my major problem is. You're not testing. You don't have tests. There's not enough tests for the country right now. And but that's the thing. You're not getting. There's not enough tests, and you're running shows for what? And no one. I'm still haven't gotten a response back from anyone at Fox Sports, NBC Universal, which is very telling. And I hope they're not. Would be dangling the carrot of the broadcast rights fees to not airing if you don't air shows. I hope that's not happening, because if they're doing that, it's absolutely terrible. I know a lot of places are thriving for live content. I get it, but dangling that carrot out there is really wrong. And I hope they're not doing it, because morally that's wrong. It really is, and that would just be unfortunate. But we don't know, and no one's talking about it. So, but let's keep going here. Passing of Howard Finkel. That was rough.
Yeah.
Howard Finkel passed away at the age of 69 yesterday. Man, that one hit home with me, Daryl, because like you, grew up on Howard Finkel. You know, calling when Hogan beat Iron Sheik for the WWE title at Madison Square Garden in '84. When Savage won the title in the tournament at WrestleMania 4. Hogan regaining the title WrestleMania 5. I remember when with the Ultimate Warrior and Hogan, and that thing with Finkel. That was fantastic. I'm trying to remember the other ones. It really stood out.
The one that I keep remembering is vividly, and it's because it's the most recent one that I think happened, was Survivor Series CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio, where he came out.
I saw that video late last night. David Bixenspan, Pro Wrestling Reporter, Deadspin, and various other places. He put up a video. He had shot, and I hadn't seen that. And then Justin Roberts, the ring announcer from AEW, put it up today, and I'm like, started crying again. I'm like, just like, he had that announcer's voice, and it was absolutely amazing. And I remember when Shawn Michaels beat Brett, and when Austin won the title from Michaels at WrestleMania 14. Trying to remember what other ones really kind of. I know people are going to get mad at this, but I vividly remember, and there's a reason I remember when Chris Benoit won the World Heavyweight title. That was remembered more from when Eddie Guerrero gave him the hug. But just the way Finkel did it, anytime there was a new champion, Howard Finkel made it special. It didn't matter the belt. It didn't matter. It was just, he had an announcer's voice, and guys and girls wanted him to be the ring announcer for their certain matches. And went into the Hall of Fame in 2009, long overdue. He was still getting paid by the company. And I thought, people can knock Vince McMahon for a ton of things right now. And I have, you have, and a lot of people have. But he was still getting paid by the company. Even though he'd been sick, he hadn't really been around much in the company for a very long time. I just thought that was kudos to WWE for doing that. Their first employee, first guy they hired, Vince McMahon hired, Vince Jr. hired to be a part of his version when he bought the company from his dad. Big props to Vince McMahon for doing that, for keeping him on the payroll despite him being sick and gravely ill. And I had seen a picture, I think it was Kevin Owens put a picture up, and it was like the last time people really had seen Howard. And he was in really rough shape. And 69 years old, it's still, to me, way too young. You don't want to see people passing away because you still got a long life to live. At least in my mind, you do. Maybe I'm wrong, but I really do feel that way. And so my condolences go out to Howard Finkel and his family. But God, like, I watched WWE put out a really cool video today on Twitter. No, I saw it on Facebook. I don't know if it's up on Twitter, but I saw it on Facebook when I was eating dinner. And it was really cool. My wife had no idea. She's like, "Oh, who is it?" I'm like, she thought it was awesome. And it was like some of his iconic calls, and it's just a tragedy. Like, it's like one of these things, like the shoes Lillian Garcia had to fill. Daryl, you're getting patched for your hat, man. The hairline's gone, Daryl.
I guess it is. I guess it is. Thanks for listening.
Take off your hat.
No, not happening, man.
Take off the hat.
Not happening.
Come on, you can't let Nigel call you out like that, man. Come on.
You can call me out all you want. The hat's staying on.
I want to see it. I want to see it. How's it looking today? Let's see. Oh, it's come on. What do you think, Nigel? It don't look bad, man. Give him the love, Nigel. Looks good.
Here's some stuff. But back to the Finkel. Wasn't he the reason that WrestleMania is called WrestleMania? I heard that it was him that came up.
I want to say yeah, but I don't want to like go definitively and say yeah. But
yeah, because I heard Vince wanted to call it the Colossal Tussle.
See, I never.
That was going to be the name. I saw an article that apparently Howard Finkel is the one that came up with WrestleMania, the name WrestleMania. And before that, Vince wanted to call it the Colossal Tussle. That was going to be the name. So at the end of like any Royal Rumble, instead of pointing at a sign that said WrestleMania, they would be pointing at a sign that said the Colossal Tussle. That was.
And I am glad WrestleMania. Oh, thank God.
Thank you, God, for Howard Finkel.
But I feel bad for like Lillian Garcia because it's like when you're replacing a legend, it's kind of like people give Michael Cole a lot of flack, and I do too. But you look in like pro wrestling, you look at Lillian Garcia had to replace Howard Finkel, Michael Cole had to replace Jim Ross, and I thought Lillian did a good job. And went to Justin Roberts. Now it's, I think, Mike Rome. Hi, David. You can't talk about bacon and egghead, man. I'm like, do you want to make some eggs on the head? I like scrambled eggs. Let's do some scrambled eggs.
I'm down for brunch. Anybody want to bring some?
Let's dump on some pepper. Who likes pepper? I do. Pepper, we'll do up some sausage links. We'll do up some eggs, sausage, bacon right on your head, Daryl. That's apparently what David wants. David, you got it, man. David, I love chicken. I love chicken. I love fried chicken. I like chicken on a smoker, chicken on the grill. David, I love chicken. Chicken and ketchup. You heard it. Ketchup.
Jesus. I'm about to log off now after that. I'm done.
David.
Nigel Thornberry wants to send me money for a hair transplant.
Come on, man. You are due for a haircut, though.
I am due for a haircut, yeah.
Not going to lie.
Or a hair transplant, apparently.
You know what my wife said to me? We're sitting there. I know we're supposed to talk and get into boxing. And we got some great people listening. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
She goes to me. She goes, I'm sitting there playing with my little guy. We're doing some, starting to learn letters a little bit. And she just says out of the blue, just shave your head to look sexy. She said your shaved head and you're looking sexy. And I caught her and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, thank you. It's like, oh, no. I didn't. I'm like, oh, you said it. It's the first time, Daryl, she said it to me in a long time, my friend. Daryl, there's people right now willing to pay for you to get a haircut. Where can they send the money? How much, Daryl?
For a haircut?
Nigel's asking.
Send me $100 for a haircut.
$100. There we go. $100, Nigel. There you go.
I'll leave my Cash App on the on the description.
There you go. There it is. All right, let's get into boxing really quickly. So I really want. Actually, no. Let's keep it in the two-man wrestling. You had something, and you sent in a text message. I wanted to get into very quickly.
Oh yeah.
The WWE and BT Sports page. We're talking about former UFC interim welterweight champion Colby Covington's been teasing. He said last week that MMAfighting.com that by 2021 he expected to be in WWE. I've had this conversation with Colby Covington in the past. Go to the YouTube archives and look at the interview with Colby Covington where we talked. It was almost 2 years ago. It was in June of 2018 when he won June 8, 2018 when he won the title from when he beat Rafael Dos Anjos for the vacant interim title. He brought that up when we talked during media day. He's talked about that in the past, and Colby Covington's got a great persona. He knows how to talk. He knows how to sell. So I think in that aspect, I think Colby Covington would be just fine. The reigning, defending WWE champion, Drew McIntyre, responded, "Surprised you're still running your mouth at Colby Cov MMA after what Kamaru Usman did to it." Yeah. Oh, that was a great fight. Kamaru Usman, great back and forth battle with Colby Covington at UFC 245 back in December. One of the best fights of the year, and broke his jaw, caused a hairline fracture in the jaw. Usman won by 5th round stoppage. What is your interest of Colby Covington in MMA?
In MMA or in wrestling?
In wrestling.
Any MMA fighter that has the personality and the media attraction that a guy like Colby Covington brings in. Because Colby Covington, anytime he takes the stage, he basically takes over. Like he shows that he has the personality. He can cut a promo. He's been working apparently in the wrestling business. I wouldn't mind seeing it because you've already seen guys, and I'll count Brock Lesnar because he had his cup of tea in the UFC. Ronda Rousey made the transition.
Cup of tea, man.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Brock Lesnar I'm not going to get into this fully, but if it wasn't for Brock Lesnar, the UFC wouldn't become the mainstream attraction that it ended up becoming. It was on the verge, and then Brock Lesnar really carried it over the top. But no, go ahead, though.
Exactly. And so you see Brock Lesnar, you've seen Ronda Rousey, you've seen Shayna Baszler. They made the transition. I wouldn't mind seeing guys like that because WWE, and Fox Sports has shown this, they want to have a more reality-based product. They want to see a guy, because Brock Lesnar, you tried to have a wrestler like the size of Ricochet. No disrespect to Ricochet, he's an awesome wrestler. But if you're trying to have a legitimate fight feel, he's not beating Brock Lesnar in 90 seconds. He's not beating Brock Lesnar in 15 minutes. You put him up with somebody like that has the fighting skills of a Colby Covington, the fighting skills of, who knows, maybe even a George Masvidal.
Jorge Masvidal. Don't disrespect the great name of Jorge. Don't call him George. I
hear it in ESPN all the time.
I talked to him the first time in 2011, and I called him George. He was pissed. Replay that audio. I got that audio somewhere. We'll put that up on the YouTube page and in the podcast page. But I called him George, and he got pissed, which I didn't blame him. And no, Nigel, this is water. You cannot drink my water, my friend. Water is very essential. Water and alcohol. And after this, I'm gonna have some proper number 12 because it is.
I still have half a bottle of that.
To me, nice and sweet. But I get where you're going. I wouldn't mind seeing Covington. I think because I know he's very frustrated with UFC and the conversations that we've had on privately and talking on the record. And you can't blame them. It's the way UFC does things, and we'll talk about UFC on Monday. But I wouldn't mind seeing it because I would like to see more MMA guys. I think it is easier for MMA guys coming from MMA and coming into WWE. I think because they already have the athleticism part down. It's just more learning the basics and getting all that down. And are you willing to take the bumps? I think that's the biggest thing. Are you willing to make that sacrifice? And Covington's at that right age to where he would be just fine. Shayna ended up being just fine. Ronda ended up being just fine. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Next year is closer than you think. We're halfway through April. So think about that one. So maybe a year from now, I wouldn't mind seeing Colby Covington in the the WWE. And we'll end with boxing because I sent you this earlier today, and it's a great article by Lance Pugmire from The Athletic about talking to people in the boxing industry about, if we can expect a return to boxing anytime soon. And it kind of seemed like it was mixed. As I know Bob Arum, the head of Top Rank, Top Rank in WWE, have been talking about events airing at the Performance Center. Bob Arum's first preference is still to air shows in Nevada. Nevada is the premier athletic commission in the United States. But the possibility is there because they do have that connection through Nick Khan from CAA. Top Rank brokered their deal with ESPN, and Khan also brokered the deal with WWE to remain with NBC Universal and to agree to a deal with Fox. And also Khan was the lead guy in Tyson Fury coming over and doing the thing with Braun Strowman at Crown Jewel and the negotiations that were going on with Tyson Fury and WWE for WrestleMania, which didn't end up happening due to the coronavirus and them airing an empty arena show. So they have a correlation there already. So the possibility is there that we could see Top Rank doing shows at the Performance Center. There's no boxing through the end of May, so it would be like the beginning of June. June 6th is a date that's been floated around from what I've been told. But Arum's thing is he wants everything. He wants to make sure proper protocols. Bob Arum, if I didn't say who, Bob Arum, the legendary 88-year-old promoter from Top Rank. Bob Arum is a god in my mind. But in the grand gist of all this, he wants to make sure all proper protocols in place where everyone is getting tested for COVID-19, but not taking tests away from the American people and the people that truly do need the tests right now. And I've talked to people in PBC. They've been talking. They're trying to figure out a way, starting in June as well, of putting shows on the Fox studio lot. That's been bantied around among them as well, which I'm shocked they didn't think about that a while ago. Then there's been some banter. Dan Redfield, former boxing reporter from ESPN, reported that DAZN, my employer, we're looking to air, which I do know is true, that is confirmed. Sometime in July, the bout that was supposed to take place right now between Maurice Hooker and Regis Prograis, they're looking at for sometime in July in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which I've been told would be on an Indian reservation because there's a lot of reservation land out there, Indian tribes out in Oklahoma. So that's something that has been discussed. Well, nothing confirmed, but you're starting to see the game boxing starting to
make
try to come up with some ideas, make some headway of like when we can really start getting back into the ring. And the thing I like seeing here is the fact that everyone wants the proper protocols first. They don't want to be they want to make sure there's enough tests and they're not stealing tests from the American people that truly need them, and people that are the confirmed cases, people dying, so on and so forth. I commend all that. I really do. I want to see boxing. You want to see boxing. We all want to see boxing. We all want to see mixed martial arts. We all want to see the NBA and MLB. We want to see Major League Baseball start. We want to see the NHL, the Premier League, MLS. We want to get back to golf. We want to get back. The PGA announced they're going to start tournaments in the middle of June, which I think is fantastic, but no fans. So we'll see how that goes. But I miss sports, but I agree with Bob Arum, and I agree with, the PBC and Eddie Hearn with Matchroom Boxing, and the same thing with, Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya and his crew. They said the same thing. We're not holding shows until we have proper protocols in place to hold events. Because health and safety is the most important thing. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have the proper protocols in place, we're going to be right back in the same situation. And I know everyone doesn't want to sit at home. I don't like being at home. I want to be out. I want to be out and about. I want to be playing golf, and I want to go out to eat, and I want to go have a drink, and I want to do all these things. You do too. Everyone in the world does. We can't do those right now. You can't even take your kids to the park. It's all my little guys have been bugging me about is wanting to go to the park, and I can't take them. That sucks. I gotta go to the grocery store and wear a mask. So hopefully sooner or later we'll get normalcy. It's just a matter of when. And reading the article, what do you think, Daryl, of how soon do you think we get the boxing? Do you see the light at the end of the tunnel, or do you think we're still looking at sometime in July?
I still think the earliest I'll ever see a fight, I think, is going to be July. Just because, like I said, it's proper protocol. We still haven't had a vaccine. We still have thousands of people in the hospital constantly. And if they fight, they would take away, like they said, they require 2 ambulances to be on site at all times. That's something that's, staff, people that could take away from people that actually need it in case of an emergency. Like somebody gets hit in the nose or something, breaks a nose, tears his shoulder, or something like that. They're going to have to get taken to the hospital or taking a bed for somebody that would actually need it that has COVID-19. Stuff like that. So that's where I see it from Bob Arum's perspective. Of course, I want to see fights again. I would have loved to see the Canelo Billy Joe Saunders fight on May 2nd. That was a fight I was looking forward to. We're not going to see that. It is what it is. Realistically speaking, from what I've seen so far, maybe we might see a couple fights in June. Maybe we might start seeing boxing making some noise. Ideally, July, I think, is the earliest. Maybe the latest would be the Canelo Triple G fight in September.
It was so disappointing. Like, I was thinking about tonight, and that article came out, and hearing the Hooker Prograis news and then reaffirming all of it today made me sad. I was really looking forward to Hooker Prograis. And I remember being there with them in the room when they announced the fight, and it was like, you can just feel the tension. And it was really cool because that's a fight we all want to see. 2 former junior welterweight world champions, 2 guys still at the top of their game. Prograis, one of the best in the world. Hooker, to me, one of the top 4 junior welterweights in the world. Can easily go up to welterweight, and I think he can make some noise. And that was a fan-friendly fight that a lot of people wanted to see. I was supposed to be in Maryland right now. I had the reservation. I was already there. That was going to be it was going to be my first time back on the road in a long time. And, it sucked. And then you talk about Canelo Saunders, and earlier that day you were going to have the Povetkin-Chisora fight. No, Povetkin-Dillian White, and Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor for the undisputed lightweight title. And then you're going to have Usyk and Chisora and Joshua and, Kubrat Pulev in front of 70,000 people in London. And, Josh Taylor fight, Jose Ramirez, Victor Postel, and the return of Errol Spence, and a lot of big mega fights that were supposed to be on the docket. Get big names returning, and possibly a July 11th fight between Mikey Garcia and Manny Pacquiao. And, that looks like that's not going to be happening right now on July 11th. I think, and I said it to you, and I said it in the chat, I'm going to publish that I had recently with Sergio Mora. I feel July 11th is the date. I think it's going to be, I'm hoping, it'll be Manny Pacquiao and Mikey Garcia. He thinks Sergio Mora thought it'd be more of August. And I just thought that was so boggling. And you're saying the same thing. And I agree to where let's get everything safe. Let's get the world in order. Because you don't want to see fighters getting sick or trainers or commentators or production people or anything of that nature. And then you're starting back at zero. And that's not what you want in a situation like this. So sooner rather than later, we're going to see boxing. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw boxing, and you're not going to see nothing in May. But we'll see stuff. I think we'll see at least a fight card in June. I'd be surprised if we don't see nothing. I would say the weekend of June 13th. I'd be shocked if we don't see nothing by then.
Okay. And obviously the target date, the one that I want to see like that is it's definitely Canelo Triple G. We want to see it by then. And I don't know why people keep thinking that I have a wig on. It's all natural.
Okay, let's see. We got to read some of these guys. David's willing to go all PayPal for you. Nigel's saying you got that money for that dog food last week.
I don't even have a dog in the house.
David's willing to buy you a wig, it seems like, man.
That's fine.
Steve, transfer $20 if you put Daryl's wig. Let's see what else we got here. People keep saying I need to buy your wig. Your hairline's going to go viral.
I didn't think my hairline was that bad, but I guess. Oh, well.
Daryl, George is upset. George has entered the fray now.
George Pretzel.
Man, people are hating on your hair, man. And I like the fact you've left the head off. It's showing guts. Stand up to the people, man. People, what about this?
Oh, that's not. I've already said I'm not shaving until the ban is over.
Joe, hey, George, which hoodie? My Michigan State hoodie or Daryl's hoodie? This is Nike, man. I'll give you.
Arizona Cardinal. This my coaching hoodie. Can't sell this.
Okay. Now, I don't. So you wouldn't hold a fight until Canelo Triple G?
Unless the protocols are made. Like I said, if there's something that we can say, okay, tests are being handed out, we start seeing progression in this whole thing. Unless I start seeing progression in this whole thing, it doesn't make sense to have a fight.
I want to just a big fight. Now, would you return with just any fight? If you're boxing, do you return for just a run-of-the-mill card, or do you go like a Garcia Pacquiao to return to Anthony Joshua? Or do you wait all the way till September 12th and for Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin?
I mean, Pacquiao's a big enough name that if that's the first fight out of this whole thing, boxing's going to be okay. Pacquiao's a big enough name that it'll draw a lot of views. Anthony Joshua is a big enough name that it'll draw enough views to the point where people are actually going to watch.
Now, were you okay if it happens in Saudi Arabia and not the United States? Because I am. I just want to see fights.
Yeah. Honestly, the whole Saudi Arabia shows are always like 50-50 for me, but we have to watch it at the end of the day. So why would I, put myself in the mindset that I don't want to watch because it's over there when I have to watch it anyway, so I'm just going to enjoy it as much as I can. But yeah, even if it's in Saudi Arabia, I'll watch. I want to see a fight.
I agree with your assessments. I've been talking to people in boxing, and they've all been in this agreement that it should be a big fight. But is anyone going to have the patience? And that's going to be the key here. You can't just throw a run-of-the-mill card. It's got to be a big fight. Hooker and Prograis, as great as that fight is, it doesn't do much for me. The return to Errol Spence, if it's against, it's got to be against somebody, whether it's Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford. If it's against a name like that, I can be even good with that. But it's got to be a big name in a significant fight. It can't just be a run-of-the-mill like Top Rank card or a run-of-the-mill PBC card or a run-of-the-mill Matchroom card or a run-of-the-mill Golden Boy card. It's got to be a big card with big names and big names. Hey, hold on before we keep going. You're getting asked. Nitty G is asking about your wig. Do you get paid for the wig? He also wants to know how much for your whose headphones, Nitty G? Mine or Daryl's? Da zone. And no, Daryl's not a lesbian, Nitty. I'll answer that for you, Daryl.
Thank you.
You're a lesbian, man. God, this all this hate for you today. I'm sorry.
It is what it is, man.
Means you're doing something right.
Hey,
But
they're watching. That's what
But
matters.
it's got to be a significant fight. It can't just be. And we'll end with this in a minute. It can't be a run of the mill fight. It's got to be a major fight. Whether it's Errol, Anthony Joshua, Canelo, Triple G, Pacquiao Garcia. It's got to be something big. Terrence Crawford. It's got to be something big. It's got to be something significant. This can't be just, we're going to throw a card in just because we want to see fights.
Yeah.
That's not going to fly. Like, I'll give the UFC credit. At least the UFC has been like, they're going to try to go balls to the wall for May 9th. Henry Cejudo, Dominic Cruz, Amanda Nunes, Felicia Spencer, and then Tony Ferguson, and Justin Gaethje. At least they're trying to go big. Like, if you're going to do that, okay, they're trying to put on 3 championship fights. They're attempting to. Every medical expert I've seen is still saying that's a bad idea. I think it is too, but that'll be for another day. But it's got to be a big card. It's got to be a significant fight with a major player in the sport. Let's see. We'll look at these comments here before we go. Daryl, apparently you look tired. Are you tired?
No. I always look tired, man. I work like 2 jobs. I mean, come on.
So David says you smoke too many bongs. Is that true?
I don't smoke at all.
I haven't smoked the GB.
Nope. Clean as a whistle.
Since I was 25?
Never.
My wife hasn't either, and I didn't believe her. I don't believe you.
That is what it is. I always got drug tested for baseball.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you got people believing you. Because you got people saying you smoke. Dwarf Man. You are kidding. Oh.
I guess I'll work at Hooters now.
Dwarf Man says, my mate sent me here, Daryl. You work at Hooters, man. David says, you defo on some substances. Well, you're drinking beer, so that okay. I can parlay that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is getting out of hand, so we will end. With that. But thank you for everyone that's been watching. Thank you for everyone. Man, our comments have been off the chain. Thank you to everyone who watched, left comments. Daryl, where can fans find you on Twitter and all Instagram and all that? The gram and all that fun stuff.
The gram. They can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DYBoricua21, at DYBORCUA21, and then the same thing on Instagram as well.
You can find me on Instagram at SMuehlhausen MMA. That's SMUEHLHAUSEN MMA. You can find me that I don't use. You can find me on Twitter at SMuehlhausen JR. That's SMUEHLHAUSEN. You can find the Walkway to Fight Club. You can find it on Facebook, facebook.com/the Walkway to Fight Club. We are over 900 likes on the old Facebook. So thank you so much. We're at 915 when I looked before we went on there. So thank you to everyone for liking and following. Twitter, we got to amp up the Twitter. That is on the both of us. You can find us on Twitter at Walkway Fight. And then you can also download, subscribe, rate, and review through iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, Google Play, and all your favorite downloading podcasting platforms. The YouTube page here, youtube.com/the Walkway to Fight Club. Hit the subscribe page. Like right away. There's tons of awesome backlogs. Great videos with CM Punk, Dana White, Chael Sonnen. I can keep going, but
you could probably find a video of Jorge Masvidal calling you out for calling
No,
you
I do not
drugs.
have that out yet. That's an audio, which I will put up. But a lot of great content, guys, with the who's who of mixed martial arts, boxing, and the world of professional wrestling. Here is our schedule. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. After every Monday Night Raw, after every Wednesday Night Wars of NXT and AEW, and then every Friday night right here after Friday Night SmackDown. And when the world gets back to normal, or somewhat normal, seeing we're holding fights, and after every major boxing and MMA fight card, UFC fight card, and after every WWE pay-per-view. For the man, let's see. Oh, Dwarfman wants to know how many beers he got.
I've had 2. That's a light day.
Only had 1. 12 ounce?
Yeah, light day.
Guinness is 14.9. So mine had 2.9 fluid ounces more than yours.
I guess I'm breaking out the Guinness next time on Monday.
You definitely do that, my man. And Daryl, get some sleep, bro, is what David says to you. David,
thank you, David. I appreciate you, man.
So we will see you Monday night at 10:30 p.m. Central Time for DY Della Rivera. This is Stephen Milhausen. We'll see you guys on Monday.